everyone, it's Julia and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would do a quick studio craft room tour of my new space. For those of you that have been following me, you may know that recently my husband decided to just pull the plug and he is retiring. Just so happy for him and for us, but because we live in a cold climate in the winter, we've decided to go south this winter. And so, to make a long story short, we downsized and we sold our house and we are now living in a townhouse. So I have a new space. Earlier this year, I did a purge and a complete clean of my old studio, and I'm so thankful I did that because moving and transitioning to this space was a lot easier. And now we are going to be packing everything in our pretty little car. We drive a Honda Element, if any of you are familiar with that, and we are going to be heading to warmer climates sooner than later this year, because he's got something going on down there. So we will be leaving in a couple of weeks. So you'll have to stay tuned for that, because I have to now fit a lot of my things into that car. But I thought I would do a studio tour and show you my new space and just give you some ideas of what I'm thinking of and on how I'm going to transition and transition back again this spring, and then hopefully we'll be able to do this for a few years. And as you may know, I do have an Etsy store, so I do have product to bring down also. Not only my sewing machines have to go in this car, my fabrics and all that good stuff, but also my products. So it should be interesting, but yeah, stay tuned. And here's a quick little tour. I am using the second bedroom of this townhouse for my sewing room, and it is a very small room. It measures about 10 feet by 10 feet, but it has an awesome big huge window that goes out into the woods. So I have deer that visit every day. There's just a lot of wildlife back there, a very treed area. And so this is the doorway, and I'm just walking in. I actually was able to set this up much like my my last craft room, where I have my sewing area on one side and my cutting and pressing area on the other. This is the side that I do have my sewing machines, my sewing machine table, and my serger sits over here on a vintage typewriter table. I picked this typewriter table up at the flea market, and if you ever have a chance to find one of these, it is really an awesome little table. Both those leaves on both sides just come up very easily. It's very sturdy and it's on rollers, so I can move it to wherever I need it. But very similar. Everything is much like like I said, my last sewing room. All my fabrics pretty much are in those canvas little baskets by color, because I do a lot of work by color when I'm doing my applique work and that type of thing. And so my plan is, when I do have to move this, is I'm going to have this pretty much the same setup down south. However, yeah, pretty much the same setup. So I'm just going to be taking these little baskets with me with my fabrics, and we'll be getting the same 9 cubed rack thing down there. So up on top is where I keep all of my fabrics, and again, my laces and trims and fibers, and I do try to keep that sorted somewhat by color also. And then on to my laces and my trims and my zippers and everything right handy when I'm sewing. I do have 2 sewing machines that I use every day when I'm working. I have a big Janome, that's my electronic machine that does all my fancy stitching and does some fonts. And then I have a Juki, which is my workhorse. It goes through lots of thicknesses, so it's extremely fast. This is my newer machine. I've had it almost a year. If anybody's interested in a review on that, just leave a comment down below. It's an awesome machine. It only goes forward and backwards. Nothing fancy, but boy does it go. And of course I free motion stitch with it also. And then my big huge window going out into this wonderful backyard of ours. And then on this side is my table that I cut on and press on. And this is high. It's like 36 inches, the height of this folding cutting table, which I also picked up at the flea market. Got a really good price on it. On the back side of my cutting area, I have my scraps, and these are little pieces. And again, I have these sorted by color. I have all my pinks and oranges, I have my blacks and browns, and then I have my blues and greens. And I can just dig in these if I need a little piece of black, whatever I'm working on it. They're just really handy. Up on top is my interfacings, all my technical stuff, and then my muslins and fleece. And way up on top are all my designs, my pressing stuff, and then that little box where I keep all my scissors and that type of thing. As you can see, I have lights on everywhere. This is a very dark place. It's actually a very dark townhouse, and the reason why we have just so many trees in the back. Once the trees, lose their leaves, I'm sure in the winter, which I'm not going to be here, but I'm sure that's going to be it's going to be a lot lighter and brighter in here. But I have to have all my lights on in order to really see what I'm doing. Now down below, underneath my cutting table, which is open, is where I have my bigger bolts of muslin and my batting and all that good stuff. I do also have two plastic drawers where I keep unfinished projects or things I want to work on. And above here is just an old box that I use for my spray my basing spray, and I just put my little pieces in there and spray so the spray doesn't get all over. At the end of this cutting table, I have my big shot with all my dies and all my other little things that I need as far as my button making machine and my cinch. I have my silhouette, my cameo silhouette down there and that type of thing. And this is just an open shelf unit, and it's the same height as my cutting board, which is nice. It's just an extension of my cutting board. I do have my tripod back there, and that's usually where this camera is sitting when I do my videos. And then the one last thing to share with you is my closet, which houses all of my paper products. Everything is all labeled, and I did that when I did my purge and my organization at the beginning of the year. So handy when I moved. I was able just to put everything in its place. It was really nice. Now most of this will not be coming with me to Florida. I believe I'm going to have to go through this and take a few things that I'm going to need. But for instance, my glue, I'm just going to buy new glue down there. Some of my embellishments and that type of thing, I'm just going to have to be more creative down there and do some thrifting and see what else I can find. Because this is obviously not going to all fit in my car. And this pretty much completes the tour of this little itty bitty craft room of mine. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm hoping to do some updates in the next couple weeks in my progress of getting things packed. Another thing I'll have to say is I'm going to be using those vacuum sealed bags that you can pick up at Walmart or even the dollar store, I believe, carries some of those. And I'm going to be vacuum bagging some of my supplies that are bulky, and I'm hoping that helps out a lot. So thank you so much for watching. Have a creative day. Bye for now.